Hi, Aries. I'm doing all the readings early because this Cancerian energy that just won't go away, like Leo season should be here already, but somehow still the bottom of the deck. Like, what is going on? What's up with this really kind of ocean wave like emotional? It's it wasn't making sense for me. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, it's supposed to be Leo season. I'm ready for that change. Like, that's what's supposed to happen now. And instead of the sun coming out like I thought it would and things picking up immediately like I thought they would, I realized I was putting so much, uh, being an air sign, I was putting so much mentally into it and not really feeling my way through it. And that's what Cancer energy is all about, is about feeling your way through it. So there was something this Cancer season that I hadn't necessarily learned. And what I've realized, like it just kind of came to me now, is that I can't move into the Leo season until I do what I'm supposed to with this energy, which I think is to figure out where this Leo energy, what direction I want it to go in. And not with my mind, but with my heart, with my emotional intelligence. And I wasn't doing that. I just wasn't. I was being like really an Aries, to be honest, like not even an air sign. I just was like, okay, I'm just going to do what I need to do. I want what I want and whatever. Like summer 2017, woo, we're going to make it happen. Leo season, yeah, fire sign, like let's do this. And here we are a couple of days in, and that Cancer energy is just holding me and really like has put me through the ringer. And I'm like, why hasn't this gone away yet? What am I not, and I think this is what it is that I still need to process the fact, this is me just speaking personally for me, I still need to process the fact that no matter how much fire and how much Aries I want to be, I'm always going to have to balance that with this Cancer rising. I'm always going to have to allow for the fact that emotions are real things and it's not just about getting things done. The way that I was raised, it's all about getting things done. I think the first time someone actually asked me how I felt, I was astounded. Like, what do you mean? How do I feel? Who cares how I feel? Like, that's just not how things were done in my house. It's not that my mom didn't love us. Obviously, you know all about her. Like, of course she loved us, but it was like, yeah, it wasn't about us. It was about like, this is what we need to do. This is what we're doing together. This is going to be fun, or this is going to be good for you. Okay, go do it. And you go and you do it and you get all sorts of benefits from it. But it is a real fire way to deal with things. The reason you guys are associated with the wands is because the wands are tools of manifestation, and that's what the fire signs do. They manifest things, right? They manifest things through bold initiative, action, bravery, strength, utilizing the best parts of this material and energetic existence and meshing them together. So not being completely in the etheric world of the water sign and not being in the completely rationalized world of the air sign and not being in the completely, kind of rat race pedantic world of the earth signs, but really a mix of all of those, which creates emotional intelligence. And that's what the fire signs have, is emotional intelligence. And now we're realizing and finding out more and more that that's really the only kind of intelligence that matters. So having that Aries nature, just wanting to create, just wanting to, let's go do the thing, and perhaps not synthesizing emotion and action in equal measure. Perhaps one is given a lot more importance than the other. So doing is the one that's emphasized, and really, what about the feeling that is supposed to inform the doing? That's what I'm talking about. That's what's happened for me, or the light bulb that went off for me was, sure, I want to do the doing. I'm ready for it. But for what? What's it for? What am I feeling? What's the end goal emotion wise? Why am I running towards that thing? Now, I feel this way, and I've decided therefore to do the videos early. I will release them all August 1st. So if you're watching this before August 1st, it's because you rented or bought the extended version like 10 days early. So the reason I decided to do this reading early is because once that light bulb went off for me, then the Leo energy did kick in. So it really was about like Cancer not letting me go because I hadn't learned that lesson yet that is completely tied to the etheric. I needed to get in touch with my heart and say, okay, you know, yes, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but my meaning, my reasoning for it, my purpose for it is because I feel this and this and this. So, very positive, you know, very positive. And then feeling that surge of fire energy come in and go, okay, now we can proceed, you know? So, let's take a look. I'll keep shuffling here. And nothing's come up yet, but let's see now what comes up. So we're looking at August for you guys, and obviously August, like I said last month, is all about the eclipse, the eclipses. All right, so what happens during an eclipse, and what happens specifically for an Aries during an eclipse? Eclipses can be uncomfortable. Aries like to hang on to the people they love. This eclipse is going to make you get rid of some people that you're investing too much in. I know we've had this conversation before, but it's a part of your nature. It's one of your flaws, is to invest too heavily in people who aren't worth it. And because you're an Aries, that didn't even bother you that I said that. Here's that Cancer energy. Good Lord. I mean, when I tell you it is strong, like for 2 days, I've just been like, have you ever been around a Cancer who's really depressed or really sad or really worried about something, money, something, and like after a few hours, you just feel like you need to get out and get some fresh air. Even if you're outside, you just want to get away from them because they're suffocating you with their emotion. That's the way that I felt. And this is the emotion that I felt. Now, what's really positive about this is that, like I said, the eclipses are going to make you look at where this is happening in your life. Where are you being drained? You see how he's bleeding out? Look here in the corner. Where are you being drained? And how is and what is that thing? How is that thing that's draining you, keeping you from being able to pick a direction? What's so great about this Chariot card is that it's so layered, right? Like, this is someone who is ready. This is someone who wants to move. This is someone who wants to go. And that's what you are. And then here comes this eclipse and goes, okay, well, you know what? You're not going as fast as you could be going. Look at, this is why. Because, excuse me, I drank a bunch of soda. I never drink like soda like that. And I drank a bunch of soda and like emotionally ate too. It's Cancer season. Like, I couldn't believe it. I don't even usually do that. I was like, oh, what am I doing? So, where are you being drained? This is what the eclipse is making you look at. Why is this important? The Chariot, I said, is a layered card. The Chariot really does imply, I want you to look at these cards together now. And then we'll... All right. The Chariot here really does imply a willingness, a readiness. All the components needed are there. Everything is available. Nothing is missing, right? None of the pieces of the structure of the vehicle are missing. The things needed to pull it are there. The guy's ready. And yet there is no motion. There is indecision. There is anxiety. There is wanting to start on a new thing. And yet, So this lunar eclipse is in your house of larger dreams, right? This now is the cosmos coming in. Okay? This is the universe coming in and saying, I'm going to either push you or I'm going to drag you. But you're going to come with me. Now, why? Why do you need to figure out where this is happening in your life? Because what's the point of moving forward if you're dragging everything along with you? What's the point when still, even now that you're feeling better, you're doing well, you're ready for bigger things, you're ready to level up, still there are people in your life who are making you feel like that. And also, that purposefully kind of try to hurt you. That's the other sense I get off this is like, you know, this 10 of Swords in an Aries reading, to me, it's Aries feel this way because you guys are so strong. You don't necessarily feel this way very often. Here, you feel this way because it's unfair. You know, that's the stuff that really gets you. Did you know that dogs and children can pick up on unfairness and they take it real personal and they get real upset about it? And you know, Aries are so clear-hearted like children. Like, it's the people in your life that are not fair to you. And I think you're getting to the point where you're like, how am I supposed to pick a direction and move forward? No wonder I'm so split in my ambitions and in my thinking and in my trajectory of you know, being so unsure of the trajectory. Where am I going? And this is the dilemma, because when I first started reading on YouTube, I remember at the time that we came in, you know, that we met, it was like Aries was like ready to go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. When is it going to happen? Oh my God, why do I have to be patient? Oh my God, why is it going so slow? And here we are, you know, the irony being that here we are, ready. Everything supports you. And yet now, boom, another lesson. No, you can't move forward yet. Why? Because you're moving in the wrong direction now. Now you have all the energy, all the vitality, everything supporting you. And yet, what kind of toxicity and negativity are you bringing with you? So August is going to, you know, and this could, of course, be manifesting in your life as just a Cancer who's hurting you this badly, as a water sign who's hurting you this badly, as someone who has high anxiety who's hurting you this badly, as someone who is, you know, vacillating and going in two directions at the same time, or dragging you in two directions at the same time. You know, I really like you, but I don't want to be with you. I really want to talk to you and get emotionally involved with you, but I don't want to commit to you. Back and forth, you know, leaving you in this 10 of Swords state. Now this lunar eclipse comes along and is like, you know what? I don't think you need to be doing this anymore. Excuse me. And like I said last month, I'm always a couple of weeks ahead, and I can tell you that I haven't felt this good in years, because just like a week ago, I realized I don't want to be this indecisive because of anybody anymore. I don't even want to feel like this because of anyone anymore. And then the Page of Wands. So, you coming back strong, young, youthful, innocent energy, right? Children, the teenagers of the zodiac. Picking a direction, ready to manifest. Sure, naive, but so what? That's part of your charm. That's part of your purity. And when does it happen? When are you renewed and youthful again? When this is finally taken care of. Now, in the extended, we'll pull some cards for this and figure out exactly what's going on there. But look how this progression is happening. So you almost, you know, like a rebirth sort of thing going on, where you come out of this indecisiveness and go, wait a minute, I know who I am. And that's what the eclipse does. It makes you look around at people and say, okay, where are you two available? And then you cut some people off, some things naturally disintegrate, and then here we are. I know who I am. I'm ready. And right when you decide that you're ready, this Four of Pentacles energy comes in, which is what again? You know, 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, which is what again? Which is another card of stationary, pulling back kind of energy. But that makes sense because right after the eclipse, we have Mercury retrograde. So, what's Mercury retrograde going to be about for you this month? We'll go into the astrology and everything of it later. But for now, what you need to realize is that the eclipse and the retrograde are clearly tied together. Because this is going to make you, the eclipse is going to make you cut out people who really are being unfair and the energetic dynamic isn't balanced. Then the retrograde comes along and helps you figure out things with people where the energetic dynamic can be balanced, but something needs to be resolved. And so you sit with this Four of Pentacles energy, and now you kind of wait, which I know how you feel about that. So this back and forth, dead, wanting motion, not knowing which way to go, renewed, full of life, ready to manifest, wait, hold on a second, let's pull all the way back again, right? Eclipse, retrograde. And now this retrograde is happening in Virgo. Perfect. Perfect representation. I'm just gonna stay here where it's like comfortable for me. You know, not being able to move, not being able to progress, just kind of gonna stay here. And that's not you. So, now, we move into this pre-harvest season, let's say, right? It's Leo season. And then after Leo season will be Virgo season, which is now here, perfectly divined by another kind of Virgo quality. This period of your life now gets very fruitful. And you go from, perhaps in a lot of ways, being this person in the dynamic with whoever this was going on with, to being elevated to the person giving the charity. Now, could this be financial? Of course. I would say this is more so emotional, but there's also a financial component. So what do I mean? I mean that you will be elevated financially and emotionally. And those two things, as distinct from each other as they may seem, are tied together. They're tied together because it has to do with your raising of self-esteem. Even though the eclipse may seem painful, even though the Mercury retrograde in Virgo may seem pedantic and annoying and stubborn, it is going to wring out whatever is left of your need to please, need to love kind of thing, okay? Now, in terms of money, when I show you my notes later, you'll see it says here, Mars energy, fuel, ready for the fire, use it, be bold. Because this money energy, this is all about how you are going to change your financial dynamics. I see you making a lot more money this month, but also I see you becoming more emotionally intelligent, which is what we were talking about earlier. So lots of milestones for you this month, just in terms of that personal progress that Aries is always so keen on. And it will come disguised as this push and pull. So don't lose sight of the fact when you're getting push and pulled and starting to feel seasick, don't lose sight of the fact that what's really going on here is that you are being kind of polished and refined and elevated. Perhaps not in a way that you like, perhaps not with this linear, forward kind of progressive nature that you would love it to be, implemented, like the way you would like it implemented. It's not going to go that way. It is going to be more, let's say, moody. It has this Cancerian feel that's still holding on to our emotions. And then we come into this, like, you know, Leo energy, this youthful fire sign energy that can be dramatic, that can be melodramatic even. So don't expect, Aries, for this period, you know, progression wise to be straight. The road is no longer windy. It is more, you know, like a wave. It's going up and down like this, like a roller coaster. However, you are still coming out really well here. Bottom of the deck so far, King of Cups. So if you're dealing, you know, the Chariot's also out. If you're dealing with a water sign, you really got to reassess here if that water sign is draining you or nurturing you. And now it has started pouring rain. I mean, when I tell you that this Cancerian energy is tugging and pulling on us, it is like, it's really not playing around. So Queen of Cups is also out. So again, if you're dealing, you know, there's a lot of water, you know, pulling at this reading. And here's, you know, brave Aries going, come on, like, I got to keep my head above water. I'm a ram. I'm not made for this, you know. And then that Mercury retrograde in an earth sign. Oh, God, like, just frustrating. But you come out of the month going, hey, I'm doing so well. Hey, I understand so much more how that was all playing out. Like, I feel so much more like I'm the magnanimous one and I'm the understanding one, and I don't really need that situation. And that person starts taking on these qualities of really wanting your attention and really wanting to be around you, but also sensing perhaps on your part that you're no longer interested in the way that you were. Okay, so let's pull some outcome cards. Now, later in the month, on the 21st, you have a solar eclipse. And this is in your house of love and drama and creativity. Leo, 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 Leo. Leo fire. Melodrama, like I said. So it's here. But also, the thing I have written down here, and I'm glad it came up, fertility. If, as an Aries or someone who has strong Aries placements, you are looking to get pregnant or you're looking to have a baby, August is your month. Let's remember, she's pregnant. All right? So that solar eclipse, it's hearkening to something that happens a little bit later, which is that the lovers will meet. Venus and Mars will meet. And Mars is you, right? You meet Venus in the 5th house of love and risk and fun. So I'll show you how it looks. Like what I wrote is, this is very hot. Prepare yourself for the end of the month. So by the end of the month, when I say that you're very fertile, and that situation, that's the power balance has been uneven, you know, not in your favor. When that starts to work out, like, you're feeling real steamy. And it's very easy to get knocked up. Very easy. But you're going to be picky. You're going to be picky because you're looking for something a little more, let's say, refined now. Whatever the situation was, however you must have felt about it, however many, you know, months or years or, you know, tears have gone into it, you're starting to wonder if perhaps you deserve something a bit more refined, something more based in intellect, something more based in an intellectual sort of passion and not just on heat. You know, which may to an Aries sound like, what? No, heat is everything. No, I get it. But I also feel like this past few years has been a real, you know, learning process for you in terms of realizing that it's not all about heat and how that can really get you in trouble. So now be careful, because as your eyes being refined and as you're leveling up, the last thing you want to do is mess around with someone who's not on this new level that you're at and end up, you know, pregnant. So, Four of Wands. And then bottom of the deck, complete opposite. Stay put, contemplate, meditate, think it through, think it over, don't jump at it. Go! Go out there, live your life, plan, do, so really conflicted. And I think it's because you're really conflicted about the end of the month. I think the way Cancer is leaving us and Leo is coming in, and the fact that Venus and Mars meet at the end of August, I think there is a lot of conflict here. Remember, Venus and Mars are not supposed to be together. Right? Let me bring this back up. Hi. Right? Let's remember that. Venus and Mars are not supposed to be together. Venus is married to someone else. They have like this kind of salacious love affair going on. So there's a lot of intrigue, melodrama, just drama in general. There's just so much. My shirt's all like crooked. There's so much just brewing, and it's all lovely in nature. It's all kind of like based in attraction and sex and partnering up, but there's this explosion of, money luck at the same time. So you're going to have to decide, like, do you want to be risky in terms of love and perhaps do something where you have very long-term consequences and you're not quite ready for that? Or do you want to spend this time using that fuel to really up your game in terms of finances? The love is going to come in no matter what, I feel like. There's going to be strong attraction. So it really is up to you if you want to use that new sense of discernment that you have to sort through partners differently, sort through your, your online profile differently, or however, right, you're meeting people, like perhaps just refining the way you're presenting yourself as well to get a different result in terms of, who's coming back to you. This is all happening this month, and right in the middle of this is this kind of like bevy of fertile sexual energy. So be careful. Don't get sucked into something that, you're going to look back at 4 weeks from now and go, oh my God, why did I do that? Like I wasn't even in my own like right mind, like that, like it was like something was controlling me, because you'll be so charged up. And so Aries really does have to take care of themselves, where you have to save yourself from yourself in that way. When you know that chemistry is your weakness, when you know that physical chemistry especially is your weakness, you've got to be able to pull back when at the beginning of the month you're being taught who's siphoning your energy, who's not worth it, who shouldn't you be available to, who should be culled out of the herd, right? So these are all things that are written in my notes that I'll show you. But now you get to either be stable in whatever you're doing and go, okay, I'm going to use this fertile, powerful energy to manifest this and this and this. Let's go. Or you use this time to go, okay, let me just pull back like super much, right? You have the Four of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. So both cards of like, let's pull back and just hold on a second. You get to decide. If you're already here and you're early, you're an early, good. Move forward now that you've decided who to cut out and leave behind, and you've decided either I'm going to focus on work or I'm going to focus on money, and I'm going to make it both, make both work. You can do that if you can pull it off, but don't let yourself come into the end of the month where all the sexual energy is peaking and you still have people who are doing this to you around, because that's not going to go well. You're going to get really, really hurt. Okay, so it's what I'm trying to say is you're going to be emotionally vulnerable at the end of the month. The last thing you want to do, that's why at the beginning of the month you're being asked to be like, okay, who's worth the time, who's worth the love, who's worth the effort, because by the time you get to the end of the month, you're so open and you're so vulnerable and you want to love and you want to fall in love and you want to, and the last thing that you want when you're in that state of vulnerability is to have somebody around from your past who's proven again and again and again that they don't care about your feelings. That's the thing that really gets me. Aries really do at the end of the day, like I just told you, my mom never asked us like, what about your feelings? But they do care about your feelings. They really, really do. But they don't care about your feelings about nonsensical things. Like, if it's about, like, how do you feel about the fact that we need to get on the bus to go, or I don't give a fuck how you feel about that, because we need to go. Let's go. But if it's something, like, important to you, if it has to do with, like, what you want to do with your life, or how someone is treating you, or how you feel, how you feel inside about something, then it's totally valid. Then you can go to an Aries saying, this is what's going on with me. And the Aries will be like, okay, I get it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's figure out how to do this. No, you're so wrong about that. Let me tell you, it's actually like this. And they'll help you, right? But then you're the same people who are so good at hyping others and so good at supporting others in that way, but then you let people break you down. You let the complete opposite of that happen to you. And you don't even tell anybody. You hide it from everyone. So no one even knows what's going on, because you're proud and you don't want to show that weakness. You don't want anyone to ever think that you would be the person to be treated that way. And I'm just like, I can't believe something that you, like, fight against in other people and keep them positive and keep them loving themselves and keep them from being disrespected. And here you are allowing all of those things to happen to you. And not saying anything to anyone, and just kind of shielding the people you love from the truth of the fact that you're hurting, or the fact that you're, feeling this Ten of Swords energy and feeling drained. And even worse is you don't feel like you can, not that you can't go to them. Of course you could go to them. They love you, but you don't want to. You don't want to burden them. The ram is the one that can carry the burden and drag the burden, not the one that burdens others. And what I'm saying is, when you have that level of, like, being closed off emotionally, where you don't tell people, but you take other people's stuff and you keep taking it, and then something is happening to you that's not right, and you're also holding that in. When you have all of that, and then you have this kind of energy, you're open. You're like a target. You're a target for someone who knows your weaknesses, wants to play you, wants to mess with your emotions. So the last thing you want to do in that situation is have people like that around when you're going to be weak. If you knew that for 24 hours your immune system was going to be super depressed and you would get sick no matter what, you would just stay inside, right? You wouldn't, right? So that's what this is about. This is about reminding you in certain ways, financially and emotionally, you need to kind of, or mentally, you need to stay inside a little bit, not the whole time, but very much so at the beginning of the month, so you can use these eclipses to figure things out. Once you have things figured out and you're looking at things very realistically, not with your emotions, right? Then you come into this vulnerable period where, let's say, your immune system is depressed and you're safe. Because you've already done the thing at the beginning of the month of lysoling everything and antibacterializing everything, and everything is clean and everything is washed. That's the way you need to look at this. So when you come into that end of the month, super vulnerable, lovey, romantic energy, instead of being terrified that you're going to get hurt by something or get sick with something, you're like, no, I already did all the prep. I already know what I need to do. I already know, what this energy is about. My space is clear. Then you can relax. Then you can just, hang out. You're all right. You're safe. You're safe. You've taken the necessary steps to keep yourself safe. That's what this month is about for you. It's about safe exploration. It's about safely pursuing your passions. It's about doing the prep and the homework, so when you are in that beautiful place where you can gain even more emotional intelligence, you're open to just doing it, and it doesn't scare you and it doesn't make you run away. Okay? So now, because this is the first time we're doing it, I'm just going to explain it a little bit. Now I'm going to just pause this for a second. I'm going to come back on another channel where I'm going to keep, these cards will still be on the table. I'm going to tape it right now. These cards will still be on the table, and we'll pull cards for the Ten of Swords and the Chariot, and for whatever's going on with this water sign energy, and for the push and pull between the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands. So that's the extended reading, and we're going to take a look at notes. And at the end of the reading, at the end of the extended reading, we're going to do a meditation that you can just go back and watch, again and again throughout the month. And it will encapsulate the major points that you have to remember this month to keep yourself from kind of going nuts with this back and forth energy. So that's going to be on the channel that's in the description below. And you click on it and it will take you to the Aries extended reading video. And then there's like a rental or pay button underneath, and you can purchase that video and watch it from there. And once you purchase it, you have like access to it forever. And you can just go back and watch it again and again. Or if you rent it, I think you have like 48 hours access to it or something. I think the extended readings aren't available for rental. They're just for purchase. So that will be in the info box below. Also, tickets are still on sale for Oakland. And I have a few spaces left in New York in August and September if you'd like to get readings. Then you can email me if you would like a reading over Skype or over the phone. I have a new system set up that will be on a website where you can just go and schedule yourself, and you can see when I'm available, and you can do it by your time zone, and it makes things super, super easy. So I'll link all that below as well. All right? I love you guys. It really does look good. You just need to center, okay? So I will see you over at the other reading now, or I'll see you in September. I love you guys.